so well. It's got the...
Keep on smiling in my tailgate bubble.
Guys and girls, I know it's been such a long time since I posted on YouTube, but we're back. My name's Cameron. I'm here with DiscoverCars, and we're filming the Abarth 124 Spider, aka the Fiat. So the Fiat Abarth 124 launched late 2016. I was with bated breath looking on all these forums and rumors sites, hearing that there's going to be a two-seater roadster Abarth coming out. I was losing my mind because Fiat's really been known for making those little bubble 500s. Looking at this car, you can tell it's taking a lot of inspiration from the original 124 with a sculpted bonnet, sharp front end, and a cool styled ducktail at the end with the proper placement of the badge on top of the boot. So coming around to the back, you can sort of see some of that Fiat Chrysler inspiration with those taillights, but if you recognize what those taillights are taking inspiration from, it's probably from a Dodge Viper. That's what it reminds me most of. Also coming around, the badge on top is harking back to a 1970s era 124 where they used to put the badge on top. Also, those quad pipes. That's a Monza exhaust, or a sports exhaust to most people. Essentially, valve operated, cracks on every upshift, but it's not one of those digitally controlled ones. It's very analog, and you're rewarded for driving it spiritedly with some cracks and pops and burbles, and you can hear that quite well with the roof down. Coming around to the side, everyone goes, this isn't just a dressed up MX-5. It's really not. It's very different. Abarth did take, I believe it only shares about 30% of the components from factory. It does have body panels, all brand new. It has new suspension, new wheels, new brakes, new engine. The only thing is some components from the interior and obviously the overall chassis. I mean, looking at the body panels, it's very sculpted. You've got nice lines, and especially around the front, it's where it sort of looks this most aggressive. It's nice and sharp on the front end with these cool sort of bonnet fenders that go up, which is, again, harks back to the original 124. Brembo brakes on all four wheels, which is fantastic. I mean, you want to be able to stop in a car that make it a bit quick and squirrely if you get going. Rear wheel drive, 50-50 weight distribution. That's the ideal. I mean, who doesn't love that? If you haven't, go drive a car with that compared to a front wheel drive car or more biased rear wheel drive car, and let me know how you go. And other than that, this is just looks quite good. Like, it's a roadster. Like, if you don't get what a roadster is, you probably won't like this car. But if you get the spirit of a roadster, short gear changes, throw the roof down, coastal roads, back roads, whatever you want to do, it's really the car for you. Like, honestly, it's the MX-5 that Mazda should have built. From this angle is the best angle from the Abarth in my opinion. Other than the front, the quad exhaust tips just look stellar, and also those lights look fantastic. And as I was talking about the heritage with the badge sitting on top of the boot rather than behind it, but other than that, it's just, you're sitting real well back behind the rear wheels, long bonnet. Essentially, you've got yourself a cheaper Mercedes AMG GT. And if you come around to the boot, there's not a lot going on, except the good news is it doesn't get taken up by your roof, because the roof has its own compartment. So essentially you'll always have the exact same space, except coming in here there's not a whole bunch to put all your IKEA shopping if you're doing that. But I mean, 2 duffel bags for going away, yeah, definitely. A small suitcase for sure, but just don't plan on doing any apartment moving like I did with my Fiat Abarth. A quick look under that bonnet. Looking under here is the same 1.4 litre turbocharged multi-air engine that is used in a Fiat 500 Abarth and all the new 595, 695s, all tuned variants. This one, however, is mounted longitudinally. I believe that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's longitudinally. So this engine is mounted longitudinally. For some reason in my head, that is like the best engine setup for something like this. The cylinders are going the way you're going. It's all right. The balance is correct. It's a 50-50 weight distribution. I mean, I do love the way Abarth sort of, they have to put an engine cover on it, but they do make it look quite nice. But other than that, you can see a lot of stuff going on, especially the big turbo on the side, nice Garrett. Other than that, it is a really minimal car. So coming down into the interior, we're nice and low. That's the one thing I don't really love about the Fiat 500 is how high you sit up in compared to a small car, but this, you're literally ass to the ground. Otherwise, you're looking at a really nice, tidy, clean interior. A lot's borrowed from Mazda. I mean, you can see stuff like the infotainment system and steering wheel, but hey, if parts break, it's pretty cheap. The seats are really cool. They've got this Alcantara inserts with a Abarth stitched into the top of it, and also a cool thing, it's got a Bose Bose audio system. I mean, the exhaust is well enough for a good audio system, but you've got little earpieces actually inserted into the seats so you can hear your audio while you have the roof down if it gets too windy. That's something that's thoughtful, and I really like that as well. Coming to the interior, you're greeted with a giant tachometer. I love that. I mean, there's just something about a car where you've got that tachometer in front and they say speed second. They sort of want you to know that you're in the right rev range. And then coming through, infotainment system's all pretty standard. Like, you've got a great amount of options on this car. I mean, everyone goes, oh, it's more expensive. Oh, I mean, in Australia it's about the same price actually as a Miata or an MX-5, but everything you get with it is actually quite good, like reversing cameras, parking sensors. The infotainment system just works. It's not one of those weird Italian ones where you have to try and figure out how it works. Heated seats as well in winter, so if you want to have that roof down and winter breeze, got heated seats. It's literally just got everything you need, which is a good thing that they partnered with Mazda. It's just Mazda have thought everything through practically wise. Abarth just came through with the styling engine and sound. The infamous movable cup holders. If you don't want cup holders here, you don't have to have them here. Interior storage isn't massive. I mean, there's no door pockets. That's the only thing. No glove box. The only real glove box you have is this cubby down here that you can sort of hide your treasures in and actually lock with the key so you can keep the roof down. Other than that, you have a little place for keys and coin slots as well. That's very exciting. But other than that, I like the fact that you got a rear-wheel drive car with the handbrake nice and close. Means you can do a couple of cheeky 180s if you need to. Other than that, circular steering wheel, none of that flat bottom nonsense, which just keeps everything nice and tidy when you get the back end going out, because this is rear-wheel drive. That is the one of the coolest things about this car is a 50-50 balance rear-wheel drive car. I mean, I love the Abarth, but a front-wheel drive car is always going to understeer and torque steer. Where this, with all the power going to your rear wheels, you can have a ball over time, especially with that long bonnet. Other than that, you can completely turn off ESC, which is unheard of most Abarths. I know that sounds very strange, but most Abarths have a thing called torque transfer control, which acts like a digital electronic limited slip differential. But once you turn traction control on this, you don't want to be driving in the wet, let's just say that. I mean, this is one really cool car. Another thing as well is the roof is not automatic, to save some of that weight and also just save something just breaking. Pop this, throw the roof, that's it. On the inside, clamp it down, that's your roof. 30 seconds, none of that have to drive at 30 k's an hour nonsense and wait for the roof to 20 seconds. Man, this can go up in like 2 seconds, it depends how quick you are and if you've been to the gym or not. Otherwise, the 124 is probably one of the well-balanced cars, and what we're doing right now, courtesy of Gulsons, and it's been awesome privilege to do this. We're gonna take for a drive and just tell you how it feels and get some of that sound going. But yeah. Alright, welcome to the interior of the 124 Abarth. We've got the roof down, windows down. So you can hear that exhaust. I mean, short shifter is fantastic. Like, who doesn't love that? It's literally like, the gears are where you want them. Everything's where, like, I mean, I'm the right size for this car. A lot of people who are like above 6 foot might have a bit of a stretch getting inside, but if you can get in here, it's an awesome place to be. Circular steering wheel, there's no mucking about. You know exactly where the wheel is. No flat bottom nonsense. You have a sport button that's actually right next to the shifter, which is really cool. So what we'll do is we'll activate that. Pretty sure it just sharpens up the throttle response and maybe gets a bit more noise. Now we're in sport. Just that exhaust just sounds so good. This thing handles so well. It's got you're sitting over the rear tires, and it just sounds, oh. The only thing I just got to keep telling myself is that the Fiat 500 Abarth that I have is the only car I have. I can't be getting one of these because I'll be in strife. I'll be in some serious strife if I do. Because I feel like I need to go to IKEA. I've done IKEA runs in that 500. Something like this. It's just, this is a driver's car though. Oh. It's just such a fun car to drive. if you're not sold on the looks for whatever reason, you're not sold on the Abarth name, I encourage you to take one for a drive. Just having the red center, having the red, like the red steering centered, the tachometer right in front of you. Oh, it makes you laugh because it's the car. It's just a sports car. This is a sports car, like, you know. Oh no, the GoPro ran out. That's okay. But this is a sports car. This is exactly the car you should be getting if you want to enjoy driving. I mean, like, the handling's second to none. It just sounds amazing having the roof down. I mean, I got an exhaust on my car recently, which I will do a video very shortly about. I did promise everyone on Instagram that I'd reveal, but I'm lazy and stupid and forgot to film that. But oh, this is just something else. Sundown, summer. Oh, it's so much fun. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not over exaggerating either. Like, I've driven some really cool cars, like some Porsche Boxers and all that, but this is the car you can actually go through the gears in. Like, whoever gets the opportunity to go past second in in like a GT3 or something like that. And so now I'm just getting on the highway. I mean, the pickup's decent. It's what you need. It's adequate and beyond adequate as well. Like, it's not like the Fiat version of this. This is the Abarth version. So, long story short, Abarth is the tuning company for Fiat, like AMG to Mercedes. Australia doesn't get the Fiat option. Australia just loves Abarth, so they only get the Abarth version. That's frankly the version that everyone needs, because I can imagine some negative press from the Fiat not being very exciting, maybe dull on the exhaust, but this is just what a Roadster should be like. This is exactly what that Mazda MX-5 should have been like, except Abarth just got a hand of it and just managed to make it 10 times better. I mean, it's got all the amenities you need. It's making me contemplate even swapping out mine for this, but I mean, it's the only gripe with this car is that it is not your only car when you're doing this, unless you manage to be very efficient with packing stuff away. This is not your only car, so it's your, yeah. My name's Cameron Sutherland. Oh. This has been the Fiat 124 Abarth. Thank you for joining us, and check out next time. We will be doing a regular posting schedule, hoping to do 2 videos a week, but I will confirm that later. But keep an eye out every Friday from now on, and you'll be seeing a new DiscoverCars video about cars in Australia near you. They just slot in like that. Oh, sorry.
You want a cup holder? Here's a cup holder.